it's always been about the water. You know, the first Native Americans who settled in this land came here because of the abundance of water. They came here because of the abundance of protein with the fish that lived in the river. They set up here not because it had the climate of Miami, but because it had a sustainable climate that was able to sustain life.
Yeah.
You know, 200 years ago, people came from Europe, 300 years ago from Europe, and they looked at the water and they saw a way to get from one point to another. And they built factories along the water, and they became the roadways that went out to the west. Today we understand our rivers as something such more important than a roadway. We see it as the sustaining of life once again. And it's always been about Pittsburgh, our rivers, our water. I'm blessed. I've gotten to canoe this beautiful river all the way from Kinzua down to Emlenton, and to be able to camp out on the islands that soldiers camped out on the Revolutionary War and Native Americans camped out thousands of years ago. And there's a natural beauty as you go through the Allegheny National Forest, a beauty that is the same as people saw it 200, 300 years ago. But it's more important than that, because it is the life-sustaining source for our entire region. And we have not only a legal obligation to protect it, but a moral obligation, because we borrow it from the people who will come after us, and we must be able to protect it for them. I wanted to just recognize a few people, the Seneca people who once inhabited much of southwestern Pennsylvania, and those who have traveled here from western New York. I just want to welcome you home and to thank you for being here with us. Many thanks to Dagawanoda, a faith keeper of the Wolf Clan of the Seneca Nation, to this event today, and also Sharon Day, the Ojibwe, the Water Talker, and so many others who are here with us. We all know nothing is more important to life than clean and abundant water. Western Pennsylvania is blessed with this resource, and we must all work together to protect it. The mayor's office has long fought for this cause. Mayor David Lawrence, with the support of Richard King Mellon and other leaders, recognized this and pushed through the nation's first Clean Air and Clean Water Act in the 1940s. In 2010, along with Councilman Doug Shields, who's with us, City Council was able to push forth the first ban on fracking in the world. The city of Pittsburgh had paid its price through the first industrial revolution. We had worked in order to be able to take the steps to clean our air and clean our water, and we weren't going to take that step backwards. We've carried that fight on behalf of the environment today, personally taking on President Trump in defense of the Paris Climate Accords, and placing Pittsburgh once again at the very heart of the environmental movement in the United States and beyond. All,
to the cracker plant.
yes, well, yes. No, listen, there are many battles that will be fought. It doesn't start and it doesn't end on one day. It's a continuation of many different types of industries that will be legacy industries of what was Pittsburgh. The question is, what will we do here to play offense and not continually try to play defense? The opportunities are abundant. This begins and it starts with what we do with our air and with our water. And we look forward to partnering with all of you and with all those different battles in order to make sure that Western Pennsylvania preservation of our air and water is at the foremost front of what we do as a region. So thank you, and again, thank you to those who are returning back to Pittsburgh.